Yo, this is that boy Cage again, and this is my review for Jump Force. Sorry, this is coming out a bit late. Last week was my birthday. I ended up getting wrapped up in that a little bit, but yeah, anyway, let's go. So, Jump Force is Bandai Namco's newest love letter to the Shonen Jump universe, celebrating 50 years of the namesake's popular anime magazine. Furious fighting, realistic backdrops, and your favorite anime characters? What could possibly go wrong? And let's find out. So, a little bit about the story. The game begins in New York City with Frieza being an asshole like always and tearing down the city with a horde of corrupted soldiers. Some of your favorite heroes join the fray and the battle ensues to drive the ambiguous bastard out of town. Enter you, an innocent bystander caught up by all the mess and nearly killed before being saved and recruited by Trunks from the Dragon Ball universe. Turns out that there's an evil all over the place and he needs you to join the titular Jump Force to defeat Venoms and cleanse the corrupt hearts of some of the other known characters in the game. Trust that the game gets unnecessarily convoluted and long-winded at times in true shonen fashion, oftentimes to its detriment. But what about the gameplay, you ask? That's the reason why you're here, right? You know I got you. The standard single-player gameplay loop involves accepting missions to fight different teams of characters in 3D, 3-on-3 tag team matches with varying levels of difficulty. As you progress and defeat more and more denizens of the Jump universe, your character will level up and gain different attack abilities inspired by the character's face. Mentioning your character, you have the ability to create your own version of a hero with a surprisingly robust character creator. Now, this isn't as deep as a game like Black Desert Online, but you do get a little bit more flexibility than what I would expect from an anime-style fighter. An in-game shop gives you the ability to purchase costumes so that you can emulate your favorite hero, but these looks are a little bit limited and I hope to see more options offered in the future. I would much rather make my own distinct character to occupy the world rather than just be a random brother in cosplay. In terms of actual modes in the game, you have the story mode that I mentioned before, online ranked and unranked fights, offline CPU matches, and couch versus modes. Before you fight, you're prompted to pick 3 of your favorite characters from a pretty limited roster. This is one of the points that kinda irks me a bit. There really should be more and more varied characters in the game. For a game that's supposed to be a celebration of all things Shonen Jump, Dragon Ball, Naruto, and One Piece get far more representation than any other series here, and it's a little disappointing, especially when you consider that there are only 40 characters and these 3 worlds comprise 18 of them. 3 worlds! Half of the fucking roster. Also, what a fucker assassination classroom in Gintama. Yo, somebody throw a fucking trash. What the fuck are you? Anyway, once you select your team, it's time to fight, and I gotta say these fights happen in some pretty wonderfully rendered environments, with some fairly impressive light and particle effects involved. Special moves feel appropriate to each character's respective source material, with some grand animations that make fights feel epic. Fights break down like you would expect an anime fighter of this style, with standard attacks, heavy attacks, and throw assigned to their own buttons, with auto combos being performed with furious button mashing. The real strategy and gameplay come from the special moves that can be performed using energy from a rechargeable meter, as well as chase mechanics, partner switching and assists, escapes, and transformations. There also seems to be an RPG element here, with different damage types and elements attributed to certain moves and strengths and weaknesses associated with certain characters. There are also items available to augment your abilities in battle. Overall, combat in this game is fun. Mechanically, I only have one complaint. For a 3-on-3 fighter, why the hell do we only have a single health bar? I feel like this takes away from this being a team-based brawler. If you have a character that you're super comfortable with, there really isn't any reason to switch characters other than positioning or if you absolutely need a different skill. At higher levels of gameplay, this may not be much of an issue since characters definitely have different roles to play in the match. But in lower levels, I feel like battles may end up effectively being 1v1. So, since the fighting is good and everything is gravy, right? Man, it's time to get into the bad shit now, man. It's the performance. Like I said, the actual fighting runs well and at a seemingly stable frame rate. No problems here at all. It's clear that this is where all of the effort went. All the effort. Also, I had no issue with the online performance with no noticeable lag or drops on my end. But I gotta get to the bad with this now. Damn it, everything other than the fighting is a fucking dumpster fire. The cutscenes in this game are horrible, with animations that look like they were made by the guys at Robot Chicken. Everything is just so stiff and kind of looks like an amateur playing around with software for fun. The main lobby, where you spend all of your time outside of battle, is interesting looking with the different themed sections and everything, and they give you vehicles to move around the world a little bit faster, which is necessary seeing how big the main area is and how annoying it is to run around from one side to the other. But on my PlayStation 4 Slim, FPS is shot in the face here. It's a bit of a stuttery mess and just serves to make the game feel unfinished. On the topic of the main lobby, that's also the only way for you to access any of the multiplayer functions. Now, this is a little bit of a small gripe, but I wish that there was a way to access multiplayer or to invite a friend online into a match without having to go into the lobby. Also, fucking load times, man. Again, I have a PS4 Slim, but my load times are long as hell. It's not horrible when playing multiplayer, just doing free missions. Kinda bad, but it's not horrible. But in the story, having to deal with a long-ass load screen, followed by an ugly-ass cutscene, followed by another long-ass load screen is just too much, man, for me anyway. But I guess the question is, do you want this shit? Now, this one's a little bit interesting, right? I like the game. I don't like anything that surrounds it. It's kind of like a burrito with good shit on the inside, but you got the tortilla out of a trash can. But I like the actual gameplay. I can strongly recommend this one for anybody who's a fan of Shonen Jump or anyone who enjoys these type of anime fighters. So like the Naruto games or anything like that, like the Xenoverse. It's really similar to that. But if you don't fit into this category, you may want to wait on the sale. I bought this game for the review, and overall I don't regret my purchase. The online's been fun, though I get my ass whooped, and I look forward to seeing new characters added to the game down the road. I hope that they can work out the problems that exist in the main lobby and all this other type stuff, man. One suggestion for the developers of the game, though. Can you please have alternate skins for the characters? Not only will it just differentiate things, but it sucks to be in a match against my doppelganger and then get confused because the camera shifts and we look exactly alike. So, look, there it is. Buy this shit so long as the price is right and you know what you're getting into. So with that, this is that boy K signing out. Holla at y'all. Have a good one.